Hello and welcome back. So in the last video, we looked at state management. We also looked at how we can be able to implement Redux and as a state management library. So if I come back here on my code, you can be able to see that we have the Redux, and also we created the cat Redux here. We also created user Redux and the store. And also we created this API calls here that we are going to use to log in our user, as you can see here. So what we are going to do now is to start the integration, and we are going to start by looking at when the user is registering and or getting the account. That means this page here. So when the user comes in here, click that they want to log in, and then again they find that they don't have account, so they need to come here and fill in their full name, their email, and also their password here. So that's what we are going to do right now. So we are going to start with authentication, and then we are going to look at the product upload to our server. So let's get into the tutorial and start looking at this page. Remember to like this video and also subscribe so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. See you in the tutorial. So now let's start by looking at how we can be able to register a user. So there's something that you must understand is that when the user has logged in successfully, then we need to show sign that they have already registered successfully. So what we are going to do, we are going to use another package that is called Toastify, and let's come here and look for this package called Toastify. It's very helpful when you want to display images. So let's come here, click for Toastify. Actually, it's a React Toastify library here. And here you can be able to see how to create React Toastify here. So you can see an example, for example, a message here. This is a pop-up message here where you can be able to cross like that, and then also you can be able to display your information here. So what you are going to do, or you can be able to see different types of Toastify here, so like this one here. So I'm sure you have seen this implementation in most applications, but maybe you never knew which library or how they have implemented this. So we are going to implement that. So here I'm going to copy this command here, and we are going to get it in our code. So I'm going to copy this, and then here in my code I'm going to open another terminal right here. So for this terminal here, I'm going to navigate to my front end because this is where I'm going to use the Toastify. And then I'm going to paste this command here. So paste it and then let it install as we are going through the documentation. So here, if I come here, you'll be able to see down here we have the documentation. You can see here you need to install, which we are in the process of installing this. Also, the other thing that you'll be able to see here is an example code. And in this example code here, you can see the first thing that you need to do is to import it, to import React Toastify. And you need to import this called toast container. And also here we have the toast. So after that, also you need to add this import here, and then you can be able to import this CSS file here. And then after that, then you need also to be able to have this toast container added here. And then you need to add this, for example, this toast here, and it will be able to display the information. But of course, you can add more, many other configurations for this toast so that you can be able to display it anywhere in your page. So that is it. So let's see if the package have already installed. So yeah, you can see it has already been installed. Another thing that I'm going to do is to close this code here because we are not going to use it right now. We already implemented the Redux part. So now the other thing now is to just come here to register page here. So this is admin, so I'm going to close admin, and then here we can go to register. You can see it here, and then I'm going to just pull this down to be at least close that. So here I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to import useState. So import, I'm going to, or for example, let me just create, for example, a variables that will be able to hold our password and our email. So, and then the name. So I'm going to add here, so const, so this one will be holding a state. So I'm going to have name, and then I'm going to have set name. So this one will help us to at least get the name from our input. So here we have the we have set and then name, like that, and here we can use useState. So useState, it will be auto imported. You can see it has been imported there. So this one will be, to start with, it will just be an empty text, and also here we can have now the email. So email, and then set email, like that, and then here we can use useState here, and then here that also is an empty string. We can have also now for the password here, so we have password, like that, and then this one will be set password, like that, and then here we can use useState, and then also this one will be just empty strings, like that. So after that, now we can also have a function here that will called handle register. So handle register, like that, and then we can have a function here, like that. Let me have a function here, and then here we can have now let me just come here, and you can see here we have, for example, the input for we have the input here for our name. So what we are going to do right here is to make sure that we have here we have event which is on change, so that we can be able to correct our name. So that one, we are going to have event there, and now we can use set name. You can see we have set name here, and here we are going to get the event, and then target, and then value. We are going to get the value, that is the text that we are going to get here. So I can copy this, and we can paste it in our email here also, because it's the same thing. And let me add it here, and this one will be email. So this one is email, like that, set email, and then the last one here will be password. So let me just come here, paste that. This one will be set password, like that, and then here I had already created this function here called handle register, and this one we are going to add the, here for the button here, we are going to add an event, but this time it will be on click. So let me scroll up here. We can see that here you can add the event. So let me come here and add on click, like that, and then you can add handle register, like that. So now when we correct the information right here, now we can be able to at least save that or send that information to our backend, so using this function. So for now, you can see this information, or this function doesn't do anything. So what we are going to do here is, the first thing that we are going to do is to prevent this page to reload. So when you click that function, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to accept the event when you click on that button. So it will just be e.prevent default. So let me just add it here, like that. That is our function. And then also inside here also, we are going to now be able to use try catch. and here we can be able to actually make sure that we can add now the code. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is to add async, because remember this will be asynchronous function when we are calling it to our, when we are sending the information to our backend. So I'm going to just add here await, and then I'm going to call this user request here. Remember we had already created user request, so I'm going to try and import it. So I can see here I cannot be able to import that, so I'm going to import it manually. So import like that, and then I'm going to import it from now the request methods. So here we have the request methods. Another thing, now I'm going to come up here and we're going to import the user request like that. So we are going to use now user request, and another thing that we are going to do here is we are going to post. So dot post, you can be able to see this function like that, and the endpoint that we want to post to. So in our case is all the register, because that's how we call the endpoint to register a user. So register, and then we want now to pass in the information here. So it will be the name, and we are going to have email and then password like that, as simple as that. So this one is an email here. So another thing is we are going to, after the login has been successful, that means we need to navigate to login, or we need to redirect the user to login. So what we can do, we can use something that is called use navigator. Use navigator, and it's a React, it's from React router DOM. So it's from here. So this one will be user or use navigate. So you can be able to see it here, and we need also to declare here. Let me have a const navigate, and this one we are going to call now the use navigate. So use navigate here like that, and then now after that we can now come here and we can use navigate like that, and now we can pass the route that we want to navigate to. So in this case here it will be just login like that, because we want to navigate to login page when the user has successfully registered in our system. So here now we are going to catch if there is an error. So to do that, what I'm going to do to be able to get the custom error from our backend is that I'm going to bring the code here, and I'm going to explain later on. So you can see here, I'm going to check for error.response, and then at the same time, I'm going to check for error.response.data and then message. And then you can see here, I'm going to use toast.react, toast.error here, and that will be able to display the error that you are getting if there is any error. So what I'm going to do here is that I need to import now the Toastify package. So I'm going to import, let me import, I'm going to import several things, and I'm going to import them from this package that is called React Toastify. You can be able to see this React Toastify here, and here I'm going to get, first thing first, toast. I'm going to get toast container, and then I'm going to also to get I think it's only this I require. So you can see here I'm using toast.error here, but this is not complete. Remember, when we are going through the documentation, we saw that you also need to add toast container in this return here. So inside one in this code, you can add the toast container, and you can add configurations as you want. So this one you go through the documentation later on. Right now I'm going to just paste the code here, so like that, and I'm going to format my code like that, then save this. So you can see here, for example, in this toast container, we are adding some options. For example, we want to show the toast in our top right. That means on this area here, I'm going to, it is going to auto close after 5,000 milliseconds, and then it will be hide progress bar. So you can see all things that you can configure here. You can play with it and you'll be able to see how helpful it can be. So I think that is it. I think we are okay. We can try and register. And another thing that I want to see here, so let me save this, and then here, I think we are okay now. So I'm going to come up here and I can close this page. I think it's taking too long. I think my internet is a bit slow. So I'm going to open inspect here so that we see any information that we are going to get. So you can see this, for example, here. It can give us like some information if login will be, or our register will be successful. So first thing, I'm going to use another person email. So alok mondala, like that. And then I'm going to use alok mondala, uh, alok mondala 199 at gmail.com, like that. And then we can use any password here. So in my case, I'm going to just use alok mondala. Let me just use another password so that it will be easier for me to remember. So here I have added another password here. So I'm going to click on create here, and we are going to see like results here, and if it is successful, it should redirect us to login here. So when I click on create here, you can see that we have been redirected to login. That means that it is successful, that is. And the network here, we can be able to come up here and you'll see that for the network tab here, you can see we have register here, and the code is 201. That means it has been successful. So you can see our payload here, our password, everything, and the response here. You can see uh, our user have been registered, and you can see actually the ID. You can see the name here and the email. So that means that this user has been registered successfully, and this person is in the database. So that's okay now. So for example, let me try again here and see if we are going to get the error. So I'm going to come up here and take this email, copy this. We are going to try and register this person again, and then this time I'm just going to call, let me just say alok, or I can just exchange mondara alok, and then here I can just use any password, or the password that I had used earlier. So let's try and see here if we are going to get any error. So if I do this, you can see here, you can see here error user already exists at, you can see, and it is giving us like a endpoint. So that's actually very good, but we have not been able to see toast, and the toast should have shown this error here, but that should not worry you. Actually, yeah, you can see it's showing us, but it's not clear. As you can see here, user already exists, and this is because I have not actually added the like the CSS. So I'm going to just come here, come to React Toastify where we were, and then here I need to import the CSS, because without CSS you'll not be able to see this Toastify very good. So I'm going to scroll down here, and you can see this is the package that we need to import here so that we can see those Toastify in a better way. So I'm going to paste it here and then save, and then I'm going to try again and register, yeah, you can see user already exists. So this is what I was talking about. User, like, this is a toastify, and you can see it is closing after certain time. So if I do that again, you can see user already exists, and that's what I meant, I was talking about. So now I can go to login, and let us now implement the login part. Login, we are going to come up here for the login page, and here we are going to import several things. The first thing that I'm going to import here is also the Toastify. So let me get this here, all of this, and this will be very simple. So I'm going to make sure that I import it here. And then another thing that I'm going to get is also navigate, because I'm going to navigate now to home page. So I'm going to copy the navigate part here. So where is the navigate? So this one, let me import it here. So use navigate like that, and then I'm going to, in this case here, I'm going to require another things. For example, use dispatch and use selector here, because this one we are going to use redux statement to be able to save our user in React, in our Redux, and persist that user, so that we can be able to visit any page and we can extract the information for that user. So that is the work of this, or we'll be able to see as we go. And then the other thing is that I'm going to import the login. Remember, we had login function, and that login is inside our Redux, and then API calls like that. So here, what I'm going to do is, let me also create the variables here for getting the email and the password, because these are just the same. So I'm going to copy them from here, and I'm going to paste it in our, let me create a function here. Or first of all, we can just have these two here. And then after that, I'm going to create another variable called loading. So this one, I'm going to just paste another code, and then I'm going to explain, because we are not going to write everything, as this thing is simple. So I'm going to save that. And another thing is, you can see we have set loading, so we can start loading, and also we have user here, and then dispatch. So let's create a function here called handle login, as also we had created for handle register. So handle login, and here we are going to accept the event. And then after that, we can have for example, we need to prevent reloading for this page. So prevent default, so prevent default like that. And let me just come back here. So after preventing the reloading, so then what we can do is to use try catch here like that, and we can be able to start login process. So the first thing here is, of course, we are going to set the set loading to be true. So set loading to be true here like that. And another thing is that after that, we can call the login, and this function is from Redux and then API calls. And here you can see we need to pass in the dispatch. So dispatch like that, you can see the dispatch here, and then dispatch, use dispatch. I'm getting it from use dispatch, and we are importing use dispatch from React Redux. So here also we need to pass in the username and password, so that as a user, so I'm going to pass in the email and password. And after that, now another thing is, after we have logged in, we are going to set the loading to be false, since we have finished logging in. So this one will be set to false. And another thing is now if we have error. So remember we have this already that we had implemented here in our register for checking if there's an error from our backend. So copy this like that, and we are going to paste it right here like that. So I'm going to save this, and we can format our code. And then from here now, let's look for the, for example, email here. For the email, I'm going to say on change, and then here I can use this event. So for this event, and then I can just use set email, and here I'm going to get event.target and then dot value like that. So I'm going to copy this. Let me copy it like that, and then I can paste it here. And but this one will be password, like my password like that. Yeah, you can see it here. So and then here I'm going to add an event for on click, so that when you click that, it will call the it will be able to call the function. So I'm going to actually come up here, and we can have on click here, and then here we can be call handle login. So another thing that we can be able to do is that we can make sure that we are using toast. So here that's you can see here we already using toast here. Let me just come here, and you can see here already we had already added toast.error, and then we pass in the message. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to get this. Actually, I think I had already imported this CSS here. Yeah, so that is okay. So I'm going to copy this toast container here, and I'm going to paste it here, like in our login here. Another thing is that for this one, I want to show if I'm loading, so that if logging in takes time, then you can be able to see here in our login here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, to just check, and this one will be very simple thing. So I'm going to just say let me add here just a check. So I'm going to check if it's loading. Then I'm going to show here loading loading here like that. Or you can actually look for the loading spinner. Oh, and then if it's not, then you can just show the login. So I'm going to just call loading or login, sorry, login like that. So let's save and see if this will work. So yeah, because for right now here, let me just come here, and you can see use state here is undefined, and that is because we have not imported our use state. So I'm going to just import it. And also the other thing is you can see here we have not used this this use navigate here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy from use state here like that. Let me copy it here and paste it here, for example. And another thing is because we are going to use navigate here, we are going to use navigate because we want when we log in we can navigate to we can be able to log into home page. So I'm going to come up here and actually copy this because it's same thing. So I'm going to copy this, and we can be able to paste it here, for example, and we can be able now to use navigate, but this time we are going to navigate to our home, not login. So yes, I'm going to copy this and I can be able to paste it here. So if we have logged in, you can be able to navigate to our home here. And because this right now I want to be able to see now uh, the username, so we can come here and we can console.log, and then you can say user, and then remember we have current user, that's the where we are placing our user or storing our user. So I think everything is okay, but we have, yeah, including the use state here we have imported. So if I just log in, reload my page here, you can see here we have could not ensure it's wrapped in a provider. So there's something that we didn't do, and I forgot. So that is it, to make sure that we have wrapped our our application using this provider here. So let's do that and then we continue. So now what we are going to do, just come here to main.jsx, and then let's import here, because in order for state management to work the way it should, we need to import. First thing is a provider, and we are going to import provider from React Redux, like that. Also, I'm going to import, actually here I need to import provider. So provider like that. I'm going to import also other things. Let me just come here. So import, and we are going to import store, and I'm going to import also persister. Let me check the spelling. So, and this is, we are getting this from, now we are getting this from React. You can see this React here, folder, and then store, like that. So we are getting this, and the last thing that we are going to import here is persist get. So this persist get, you can be able to see it here, and it's from React persist, and then integration, and then React. So now the other thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove this strict mode here, and we can wrap our app here. So let me remove this, let me remove that, and also remove this. And then here I'm going to wrap this using a provider first of all. So provider, and let's get the provider here, and provider here needs to have a store. So I'm going to pass in the store, and you can see here this is where you can add the store, and inside now the provider, we are going to also have persist get. So persist get this one, and now we are going to actually have some options. So for example, loading, and loading here will be null, and also we are going to have persister here, and we are going to pass in the persister, and then I'm going to take this up like that, and then press inside here, so that we would have wrapped it in this, using this provider here, and also persist get here. So I think that's okay now. So I don't think there's any other thing that you are going to require. So let me see if the error is gone. So I'm sure it's building. So yeah, let's see if we are going to get error. We are getting, it's not loading. So let me just come here, and maybe the other thing that I can do here is I'm going to use, let me just come here and use React, and then I'm going to also use React.create create route like that, and then here we have document.getElementByD. So we get the router and then we render. So I'm going to import now. I think this one, actually this one should be React DOM. So React DOM, and then I think this one actually this one should be capital letter. So React DOM like that, and here I'm going to just make sure that I import it. So import, I'm going to import React React DOM like that, and this one will be from now React DOM /client like that. Yeah, I think that's okay now. Let's see if it will work or it will continue breaking. So let us reload this. Yeah, it is not working. So let me check. So I'm going to look for where the error is, and the best way to check where the error is coming from, you can check, for example, here in console here, for example, and you can see here it is asking me or is telling me that persist reducer here has already been declared at this store here. So what I'm going to do is to go to the store. So here, and I think I can spot where the error is. So they have said that this already has been cleared, so I'm just going to just call it another thing, which is persisted reducer. And then if I save that, come back here, already you can see it is working. So I'm going now to try and log in so that we can be able to see if we are going to get error. So log Mondala. So I'm going to remain on the network page here, and then I can reload so that we can be able to see the whole process. So let me just come up here and try login. So unlock Mondala. I hope I won't forget the email, how it should be, 99@gmail.com, and here I can be able to just make sure that I add this here like that. So that's the password, the correct password, and then when we click that, you can be able to see that we have been redirected to our homepage. That means that has been successful, and you can come and check here. For example, this here you can see. Let me just come here, and also let me just come here. You can see this is null, so it has not been saved, but we are going to check that later on. So for now, we already have created how we can be able to log in. So I think that is it. We are going to continue in the next video, where we are going to start at how we can be able to upload the product. So see you in the next video. Have a great day.